Going to step number 10, which is the final step, we always want to make sure that in this type of business, we have some sort of incentives to reward drivers for achieving their safety goals. It is so important. I'd rather give out monetary money to drivers that hit certain goals than to pay high dollars for an accident that we had. Put your safety incentives and make them work for you when you feel you need to, what kind of incentives you need to have, and what exactly is it that you want to measure in your fleet, in your company. For me, incentives is to reward drivers for achieving their safety goals, meaning clean inspections without any defects, no accidents or customer complaints reported, MVRs, no driving violations or citations. This is so important for us because right here can really hurt us not only in the SRI, but also in Schedule L. And now it's also hurting us, can hurt us in metals. So we want to make sure that we're training drivers to be efficient. We're training drivers to be safe. We're training drivers to keep their vehicles free of defects. But we want to make sure that we put a little bit of incentives out there to keep our drivers always honest and always moving in the right direction. We want to make sure that we're rewarding drivers for clean inspections without defects. And we want to make sure that we're rewarding drivers for no accidents or customer complaints reported, that we're rewarding drivers for no driving violations, citations, such as speeding, seat belts, reckless driving, or any other thing that can hurt you in either in a violation for an inspection or a traffic citation. So it's very important. So for us, we're training drivers and then we put in incentives out there. These incentives could be monthly, could be quarterly, could be yearly. It's going to be up to you how you want to do that. But for me, we're doing quarterly and yearly incentives. Number 2, recognition awards. Part of this, what we're doing, we're giving awards. Safety awards will be presented to drivers that have 0 defects or 0 preventable accidents for the year. So some of the awards that we give, this is a safety award. And this is a yearly award that we give in recognition for safety and performance. This is a quarterly award. It's what we call a top driver award in recognition for your outstanding performance. This has to do with customer service and safety, not just accidents, roadside inspections, driving violations or citations, but also making sure that our customer service is up to the level that we want it. No early, late pickups, NDSs, dispute deliveries, all those things. So we reward the highest driver that we have will get the top driver award for the quarter. This is a driver of the year award that we offer for your commitment, dedication, and outstanding performance throughout the year. This driver of the year award that we give out is for service and safety. They have to hit the goals that we have set for them. Again, no accidents for the whole year. No driving violations, citations, speeding, anything for the whole year, any kind of accidents, so and so. So anything in safety there. Customer service, again, have to hit the 99.99%. No early, late, or missed pickups. NDSs, dispute deliveries. Again, this is the target that we want to set, and we want to make sure that a driver that gets the Driver of the Year award is a driver that we set high standards for. Because at the end of the year, when we do give this award out, not only do we give this award out, but we also get monetary money. We also want to make sure that it's a reward that we feel is going to be achievable, but also an award that we know that's going to be competitive, where every driver is going to try to achieve this goal. So every driver that we have will have that same chance that every driver has to make sure that they get to that level. So it's not just for the veteran drivers. Even new drivers can achieve this goal if all their numbers, and again, if we set all of our goals for them and they hit all their targets. Now, we also have one more incentive that I do is a safety watch incentive. It's awarded to a driver or drivers that had zero preventable accident for 5 years. So in order for our driver to get a company watch, which we have our logo, and we have on that watch 5-year safety award in the back, we engrave their names. This award represents no accidents for 5 years, no violations, no speeding, any kind of issues that has to do with safety. Pre-trip violations, CSA violations, liability, accidents, preventable accidents, DOT, all those things. We want to make sure that driver has zero in all those categories. For 5 years, we'll earn a watch. We already have give out 7 watches. And again, for 5 years, so that driver has to be in the company for 5 years with 0 accidents, 0 defects on their vehicles, 0 citations when it comes to speeding or any kind of violations. So it's a great honor when I give one of these watches out. So again, these are the incentives that I have. Now, for contractors, I have talked to many different contractors about incentives. Get creative. Put incentives that you feel is going to work for you, that's going to get you to where you need to be. For example, if you are in a place where you're having a lot of accidents, start putting some incentives. And maybe it don't have to be a year incentive. Maybe it could be a 1-month incentive or 2-month incentive to start to get the momentum, to start to get employees to start focusing, to hopefully eliminating on hitting things. Because most of the contractors that I have talked to that have needed me to help them in some areas, it wasn't big accident. It was small things like mailboxes, just a lot of small things that they were hitting, but it was many, many accidents. So it's important that put together some incentives, a contest, incentive, monetary money, or anything that's going to help you get your team more focused, get your team improved in whatever area you want them to work on, so that they could improve in that area and then they take it to another level. For me, we're doing already quarterly awards and we're doing annually awards. And all my drivers, whether they're bulk drivers or whether they're step van drivers, they all have the same opportunity to win that award or to win those awards, including getting a watch from our company. Now, what I have learned is that through my incentive program, it has helped me reduce accidents. It has helped me reduce injuries. And the money that we're saving there, I'd rather just spend some money to spend in some awards. I probably spend about $1,000, $1,500 a year in awards and in watches and plaques and monetary money that we're giving out to employees. And to me, that is a great program because I'd rather spend $1,500 in giving my employees really nice stuff than for having one major accident that's going to cost me over $5,000 or $10,000. And I'd rather just give out some money for some things that we're doing right. They have to deal with a bad accident because we don't have programs, or we just have some employees that just wasn't taking care of our trucks or just wasn't taking care of themselves. So for me, incentives is very, very important. And this has really helped my company stay outside of accidents where we have no accidents. Roadside inspections, like I said, where we get between 40 and 60. I believe last year we had 58 clean and we had 2 with minor violations, which is very, very good. But again, it's training employees. Now, when it comes to safety, one of the things that I want to make sure that we address is that training is so important. I have talked to many contractors that have had a lot of issues with safety. And one of the things I found out that there was not a whole lot of training, but there was a whole lot of trying. Drivers were trying to do the right thing. Drivers were trying to do the right thing, whether they're delivering, whether they're backing up, whether they're merging into traffic or other things. They're trying, but they were just not trained. So what we learn is that when we start training and spending a little bit of money and training our drivers, we're going to get a better driver out on the road. We're going to get a driver that understands a lot more about keeping themselves safe and keeping the motoring public safe. We're going to get drivers that are going to take care of your vehicles even better. The most important thing, what we want to do is train average drivers to become professional drivers out on the road. Now, I also put together what we call acronyms. I like to work with acronyms a lot. And again, I had to put one together because I have no room for error, because going into California and coming back, we not only go through 60 roadside inspections, but we have the opportunity to get pulled for random inspections, which also kind of kills my day. So we wanted to make sure that in the morning before we left the station, that we had some procedures and some things we wanted to put together. So I put this acronym together called PERFECT. It's what I have a safety daily routine. And the reason I came up with the word perfect is because we have no room for error. When it comes to safety, there is no room for error. We need to make sure that we're doing everything right, to make sure that if we're going to hit our goals, to make sure that every driver makes it home safe every day. There is no room for error. So how do we spell perfect in the morning? All of our drivers. It starts with P, pre-trip and post-trip, your vehicles daily. E, enter and exit your vehicles using 3 points of contact. R, review all your documents and check for expiration dates. We're talking about medical cards, registration, insurance, driver's license. F, fasten your seatbelts. It is proven to save lives. E, enter all information on mobile devices and scanners. We want to make sure we take care of all that before our vehicle is moving. If you need to make adjustments on your tablets or anything, or your scanners, clocking in, whatever you want to do, that's the time to enter all information on mobile devices, scanners, tablets. C, commit not to be distracted or use your cell phone while driving. So when we get behind that wheel in that vehicle, we have to make that commitment. I will not be distracted today. I will not use my cell phone while I'm driving. I will not text while I'm driving. The very, very last thing you want to do is T, turn on your vehicle and go on your route. This is the acronym that I want to make sure all my drivers understand. So every morning when I go to my station, and I don't go there every day because I'm busy traveling, but when I'm in my station, I pull my drivers aside and ask them, how do you spell perfect? If they don't know this, I take them to my managers, which are my BCs, and I want them to explain to me why they do not understand the word perfect, or why did they miss. Because it's crucial that these are the things that we have to do daily to keep our drivers safe, to make sure that our drivers are not going to get injured during that day, and they're going to keep the motoring public safe by committing not to be distracted. But the main goal is to make sure that every driver makes it home safe every day. So this is what we're doing, and this is what how we operate in the morning. And again, every driver that I have knows how to spell perfect, but we do quiz them from time to time to make sure that's happening. I want my manager to make sure this is happening every morning. It's very, very important. So my program, we set our goals. We set our goals for our company. And as we set our goals for our company, using my 10-step safety plan or safety program, there's got to be some results that we have to get. So out of our goal, what do I want to accomplish from this goal? So our goal is to set the standard, develop, create a safety culture in our fleets, in our companies. Safety culture is the most important thing. We need to make sure that no matter what station we're in, what state, what city, we need to focus to have a safety culture. It is very, very important through your safety program, or through the safety program, we have created and we have developed a safety culture. Number 2, our goal is to have 0 preventable accidents. Number 3, Our goal is to reduce the number of employee injuries. It's so important because workers' comp claims can kill you. It can add up so quick, just like accidents. And it's just very costly. Number 4, to reduce the number of driving violations. That is our goal. Our goal is to reduce employee turnover. 6, to increase profits and reduce expenses. And I think this is something that we're dealing in today's time is we're running very thin profit margins. But if we could have a team, if we could have a fleet where we have 0 accidents, 0 injuries, that's going to be money that we could put in our profit. Building a safety culture, employee turnover. The less employees we have to hire because we have a revolving door. We could save a lot of money in new hire training. So a lot of these things right here even reduce the number of driving violations. We want to make sure that all these things right here can cost us a lot of money. We want to make sure that our goal is to reduce the number in all these areas so that we could be able to increase profits and reduce expenses. Now, the other thing you want to do is set personal goals for your company, goals or incentives. Set some goals to help you get to where you're at. If you have an area where you're at where there's just a lot of accidents, maybe you want to set a goal and set some sort of incentive to help you there to reach that target. And you may want to start with smaller targets. You may want to start with a target where it's not like 1,000 days. I want to share that information with you. Maybe 100 days first. And then maybe from 100 days, you want to go to 200 days. Then maybe from 200 days, you want to go to a year, which is 365 days. And then maybe you want to go a little further from there, depending where you're at with accidents, because that's the one that really hurts us the most, accidents. And that's the one we really want to focus a lot more. But our safety culture should get you there. Whatever safety culture you put together, the training material that you have should get you there. So let me tell you a little bit about my personal goals that I set to reach 1,000 days accident-free. When I started this was back in 2010 when CSA training came in. Back then I had a new driver who had a accident. It was just a fender bender. We were behind a vehicle on a traffic light. My driver got distracted and started looking at the scanner. Through his peripheral vision, he saw the traffic light, the arrow turn green. But because he had a vision barrier in front of him, he had a truck pulling a trailer in front of him. He couldn't see the rest of the traffic lights. So all he could see is the arrow. The arrow turned green, and he thought that the light turned green, so he moved forward and bumped into the vehicle in front of him. The driver from that vehicle in front of him came out and saw that it was a FedEx truck. He dropped to the ground, and he said, "I can't feel my neck, my back hurts, my legs, and everything." So from that day forward, or actually what happened, we did call the ambulance. They took him 70 miles to the nearest hospital, and they also took him into the emergency. So it went from a fender bender that cost me, I think it was $110 to fix that bump, that dent that we did on the vehicle, to close to almost $40,000 because of the ambulance and the emergency. Later on, this guy took me to court, he put a lawsuit. So he took me to court because he was suing me, he was suing FedEx, and he was suing my driver. Long story short, this accident dragged about 4.5 years in court. We won because we were with a hired investigator, and we followed him around. And he was working in Mexico, getting paid under the counter is what we came up with. So long story short, we won that case. So that's when my safety training program was born. Sometimes when we have something bad that happened, if something good could come out of it, then we could say it was worth it. My safety training program, I started getting certified in CSA. I started buying material. I started getting things going. Now, keep in mind, this is 2010. We started building a safety culture, and I realized that we were getting good results. So as we were getting good results, I went to my senior manager. I talked to him, and I said, hey, we're getting some very good results out of this training program that I have. Will it be okay if I start training every driver in our station? And he said, yeah, I don't have any problem with that, but you're going to have to talk to other AOs and BCs to see if that's going to be okay with them. I put some flyers together, gave it to all the AOs and so, and we started getting all the drivers from other contractors. And then also we started getting the contractors that start coming to these training classes, which was every Wednesday. Contractors liked the material, and they felt that this material was good, and we started getting results. So I went back to the senior manager and I said, hey, we would like to set a goal. I want to set a goal of 1,000 days accident free. Our station always had at least 1 or 2 accidents every year. It didn't matter what contractor it was, but the station always had at least 1 or 2 every year. So we never had 1 year accident free. So 1,000 days. So he looked at me, he goes, you sure you want to do this? Because that's a big commitment. I said, well, I'd like to give it a shot. I'd like to give it a try. It wasn't easy, but we started working with the drivers. We started coaching drivers, grade of training. We started teaching them about pre-trip, post-trip. I invited Highway Patrol law enforcement officers came and did some clinics. We were doing a lot of things with them. They were training us in different areas, how to keep this vehicle safe, how to be a defensive driver, not be distracted behind the wheel. So we started going with a lot of different things to make sure that we were going to hit our goals. It wasn't easy, but we made it to the first year. That's why in this picture, we're holding one finger, because we hit our first year accident free. So we knew, okay, we hit 1 year. We have, I don't know, about 700 days left to try to hit our goal. It wasn't easy. It took day in, day out, working with drivers, making sure they're doing all the right things, making sure when they get behind the wheel, that we're committed not to be distracted. And then finally, 1,000 days later, we were able to take a picture here. We couldn't get everybody on the bleachers, but we were able to take this picture as a whole entire station. We were able to hit 1,000 days accident free due to the program that we're showing you, the safety plan, creating and developing a safety culture in our station. These were the things that we did. So I feel that this program hopefully will help you. And again, you don't have to set 1,000 days, maybe 100 days, maybe 150-day goal, maybe a 200-day goal, or maybe a year goal, whatever you feel you need. You don't have to shoot too high, too quick. We just felt with the training program that we had and all the material that we had, that we were ready to set a 1,000-day goal. And thank God we hit it again. It wasn't easy, but we were able to make it happen. And now here we stand 1,000 days later. So I hope that this program that we just covered today, that may help many of you. Maybe you already have some of the topics that we cover. Maybe you already have a lot of these videos or programs. But again, if you don't, use what we have here. Just a phone call away. Again, we just want to make sure that that everything that we're doing is here to share with you. That if it helped me, and I know it could help you, we want to make sure that use it to best to your knowledge, to that hopefully it could help you build a safety culture, and that you will be on the way to have 0 preventable accidents or even citations or violations, depending what are the issues that you may have in your station. And most important, to reduce employee turnover, to increase profits, and that's the most important thing, and reduce expenses in your station or in your fleets. That's the most important thing. I hope we could help you. I hope this material, you find that it can help you so that you could be on our way to a better, more efficient, and safer fleets. And again, ensure the same goal that we have to make sure that every driver make it home safe every day. And to do that, we want to train drivers to take care of themselves. We want to train drivers to take care of the motoring publics and to take care of the customer. If we could do those three things, then we did our job and we are setting our goals. And yes, we're going to be running safer fleets and everybody wins. And that's the main goal that we want here. We want to make sure that everybody wins in this. And again, we want to create a safety culture across this nation. And it starts with me and it starts with you. And how we could do that to set up a safety culture in our fleets is one driver at a time. Training one driver at a time is how we're going to get there. But thank you so much. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my material, to share my safety plan, and to share that the safety plan did get me to 1,000 days accident free, not just my fleet, but the entire station down here in Yuma, Arizona. Thank you very much.